Another North London derby win. We've done it again. I mean, I'm not surprised. I know you're not surprised, but welcome back to the Gooner Club, people, all the Gooners out there. Thank you for everyone who's watched, liked, subscribed so far. Please do it again. But I'm once again joined by my two good friends, Huss and Mo. And it's a good day, boys. The last time we spoke on this pod, it was dark, it was sad. We were joined by Luke Henry. Big up, Luke. But we're back and we've got positive result to react to. 4-1 win over Tottenham at their stadium. I mean, what a performance, what a victory. We nearly killed ourselves again by letting them back in the game at one point. So there's a lot for us to discuss, but they got the job done. The exact response they needed after that Wolves draw, which felt quite like a defeat. But yeah, I mean, what did you make of the game, boys? Hustle, come to you first. How happy are you that we got the win, man?
Bro, buzzing, man. Like, I can't even put it into words just how happy that has made me. And that is absolutely, you know what, genuinely, I didn't go into it that nervous. Like, I was quite confident. Like, even though there's a lot riding on it, I just thought, come on, Arsenal, it's a North London derby. Even when we've been on our worst ever forms, like historically, like we show up for North London derby, it's what we do. So I kind of went into it a bit confident. And then, it was a good start. I thought from the first whistle, the boys were looking quite up for it. So did Spurs, but the boys were looking up for it. I thought it was quite
Yeah.
clear we are the better team from the first 5-10 minutes, and we felt good. And then the goal came, and then we conceded straight away. And then that at that point, it kind of fucked me up a little bit. I'll be honest. At that point, I'm like, oh, like this is tough now. This is a lot tougher than it even was at 0-0. Like going to 1-1. And it felt like from that moment, Spurs had more of a like wind in the game, building a little bit more momentum. But to start the second half the way we did, to get that goal, Viktor Gyokeres, I'm sure we'll discuss in a lot more detail. That is the moment, like for him as an Arsenal player, he's come and scored goals before. He's got all the goals in the season, but that's the moment that Viktor Gyokeres arrived. That is the moment, like a new Viktor Gyokeres unleashed there today. I saw a different Victor today. I saw a Victor that said, I'm ready to make my name, put my name in the sand. And the truth is, yeah, for these boys, like I said in the last video, it's kind of a new run now. Everything that's happened up to the season to this point, it all amounts to these next 11 games. Like everything that's happened before, it does matter. Of course it does. But in a sense, it don't really matter. Like it's the boys who show up these last 11 games who make themselves the heroes. They're going to go down as Arsenal legends. You can come in now and just score a 5-6 good games and you can make yourself an Arsenal legend. So yeah, absolutely buzzing, man. 4-1. Not only did we win, but we did it in a way that every fan needed us to do. And I do believe again. Like I'm not going to say I fully lost belief before, but my belief was dwindling. And I believe, man. I believe in the boys. They gave me some fight today. They showed me some passion, which is what I needed. They went out there, got it done. Now we do have to caveat: Spurs are dog shit. Categorically, they're actually dog shit, bro. Like they're not even decent. They're worse than Wolves in my opinion right now, based on what I've seen for Spurs in the first and second game we've played against Spurs. Like Wolves gave us two way tougher games than Spurs have. But at the same time, the boys showed me a level of fight today. So I can't be unhappy, man. We've got a nice little break until Chelsea game as well. So happy to bathe in this glory for a little bit.
I was I needed to get that off my chest last week because I felt so much better after I got that off my chest. I said I was getting flamed on Insta, on YouTube when I went off my rant. But I got that off my chest, and low key, like today and yesterday, I was feeling a lot more calm with us. I think I just came to terms with, what, let's just see where it goes from now on. So I was kind of a lot more calm. Even today, like I was chilling today all day. When I got downstairs, I didn't even check the lineup like until about 15, 20 minutes before the game. Probably about 10 minutes before the game. I was like, oh shit, let me actually check the lineup. This is getting on. And I wanted to see, I was excited to see if there was any changes, anything that we were going to do different. And then I saw what he stuck with pretty much the same team. Timber. What changes did we say? We said Timber.
No surprises.
Eze
in.
Yeah. That was
kept Zubimendi in. So yeah, like I said, a couple of the guys that I thought didn't quite deserve to play after last game, that he kept him in. So, and then we started well. We started off, there was a lot more fight in the team. And I could see early on that we were making those daring passes that we weren't.
Yes.
What we were doing last time, we were playing with a handbrake on and stuff, where I was saying we were playing out fear. I could see we were actually attempting a bit more this game. Even Timber, a few times, it didn't go well for him, but he tried to make that pass forward into the gaps.
Yeah,
and a couple times I saw it got intercepted. So people did get onto him like on our WhatsApp group. But I liked that he was actually attempting it. And that let me know that they've said something in there like, go in and just try and take them on. You're better than a lot of these teams.
As well.
Exactly. Quicker, and you just pass it forward a lot quicker. Because he, for me, has been a bit of the issue the last few games where he's just been passing it backwards. So I like that I saw him attempt it at least. And then we got to go in. The referees, I don't know what they were doing. They had no batteries in their stopwatch and all of that. I don't know what was going on. But once we got going, I thought we were the better team. We started making little mistakes, but I don't mind that when we're actually playing to attack. Like, I don't expect us to control a game for 90 minutes and shut out a team fully. Like, this is football. It's going to go back. It's going to have its back and forth swings. So I didn't mind those little mistakes at first. We got the goal. It was Eze, of course. And it's what needed. We needed that from him again. Someone just step up again, took his chance. But then that silly mistake from Rice, like, what was it? 1 minute straight away? 1 minute after? But even that's exactly what we're saying. He got into a tight space, and instead of just booting it out and playing it safe, he did try and just take it through a player. So, like I said, I'm not gonna. Yeah, but it was a tight space. Like it was, but he could have.
It's one of them. Like, it is a strange decision because, especially Declan Rice, he's one of them players where sort of what you're saying about Nkapia against Villa away, Huss, where he was like, just clear it. Like, Rice could have he could have just hoofed it up the pitch, and that would have been a non-event. But we'll talk about that moment a bit more specifically, because I do think that's quite important. Because it's just another sign of us giving leads away, which I got a stat for. But Viktor Gyokeres, I mean, Huss, a lot of people, I'm not just going to say you, because a lot of Arsenal fans, I'd probably say a majority of the fan base, probably like 70-30, 70 against Gyokeres, just not having him, pretty much saying we need to move him on. I've seen a lot of people on social say that we should be signing a new striker. I've always been patient with Viktor Gyokeres. I've always thought he'll come good, mainly because not his ability, his mentality. And I think it's easy to bypass mentality in sports, especially when someone's not performing. And with Gyokeres, because he doesn't look pretty on the eye, he's been written off easily. But then I look at other strikers in the league. I look at Ekitike. He's now level on goals with Ekitike. Voltemade, everyone was saying he's great. He's got more goals than Voltemade now. Sesko looks like they don't trust him, like he's not actually ready for the challenge of playing for Man United. Whereas Viktor Gyokeres, he'll have a bad game, but he'll still turn up and play as if he belongs in the side, which is effort. And what I've seen from Gyokeres is effort. I've never seen him give up, walk around, have a bad attitude. And I think what we saw from Gyokeres today is the rewards. And a lot of people have been criticizing Gyokeres when he's not even had a shot in the game. I think he had 4 or 5 shots today. He scores 2 of them. But that's what happens when you give a player like Gyokeres a chance to shoot. You have to let him shoot. If you don't shoot, he's not going to score. And a lot of people have criticized him for not shooting, but you need your teammates to put the ball on. Yeah, you need your teammates to put the ball on a plate for you sometimes. He gets a good pass from Timber today for the first goal, a venomous strike, and then the second goal. I actually prefer the second goal because he's actually had to hold off Archie Gray a bit, and the finish is quite cute. He finds the far corner. But that puts Viktor Gyokeres on 15 goals in all competitions this season, 10 in the league. I predicted him to get 15 to 20 in the league. I said 25 in all competitions. So he needs 10 more goals to get 25 goals in his first season in all competitions for Arsenal, which I think is more than respectable. I mean, Huss, you've been very harsh on him, but after what you saw from him today, are you a little bit more loving of Gyokeres and a little bit more open to him being a success at the club?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've always liked Gyokeres. I've never like hated Gyokeres. I've never been like, I don't like this guy, or but I've not
Wait,
received.
hold on. Is
Wait,
that a lie?
it's the worst ever signing.
Mate, that is a
player,
lie.
no, I like him. I like the guy. I don't hate the guy.
Wait, hold
If
on.
I hated a player, I gave more stick to Nkapie than I gave to Gyokeres for how
Right,
bad Gyokeres had been at
we
a point.
don't, but Huss, we don't
You
know
can
them
say
personally.
you can say a player's not playing well. That doesn't mean you don't like the guy. That doesn't
No,
mean you
no,
dislike
no.
the guy.
Wait, hold on.
Mate, the numbers speak for themselves. Let's
Now,
be
Huss,
real. He had
before
5
you lie
goals.
to the
He had
people,
5
just
goals the
take a
other
breath.
week. Let's just
Take
be
a touch.
honest.
Take a touch, because
Let's be
Mo is
real.
right. You have said he's the worst striker signing
Yeah.
Arsenal have ever made. You said Lucas Perez was better than him. Shamak. Let's just be honest. Well, I'm not
We've
saying
seen Nicholas Bentner have great Spurs performances.
See,
Yeah?
so this is what I mean. So be
But this is the
genuine.
realness.
'Cause
Let's be real.
bro. Let me
Let's
talk.
have a real
Let me talk.
conversation. Go
Let
on,
me
go on.
talk. You've literally just brought up Nicholas Bentner. This is my point. So don't caveat it with I like him. Forget the person. We're talking about the player. Yeah, you have said he was the worst worst striker signing in Arsenal's history. That is what the
Nah, he said
question
worst
is.
signing altogether.
Oh, did he say worst signing? See, I tried to
Look,
help you there.
that's
Huss.
not.
Your
Look,
brother's buried you.
this is the whole thing. My general issue with Arsenal fans in general, because you actually think that
Hey,
one
now
game.
he's acting like one of
You
them
actually
other
think
fans.
there's one game. You think one game, and that's it. But let's be honest. In 3 games' time, if he scores no more goals, it's the same conversation.
No,
Yeah,
it's
the
not for
same way
me, though.
Eze scored.
It's not for me.
Eze scored a hat-trick against Spurs in November. And you, man, were on here last week saying how bad a signing Eze was. So
No, we didn't.
No,
we said we need more from him.
you
We never
said
said
he
he's a bad
slipped
signing.
down below Gyokeres to be in one of our worst signings. That's what you said.
No.
I said no. We
No.
never said he's a bad signing. We said, we always said his ability has never been in question. But what's disappointing is we know how good he is, and he's not performing to his level.
There you go.
That's different.
Yeah, no, facts. But you've got onto Eze. You've said that Eze isn't performing, and it's the same thing.
One your word like a man.
One performance, especially in North London derby, especially in a North London derby, bro. We know what happens in North London derbies. I'll be real. What I saw today is giving me confidence. It's giving me belief. It's giving me belief that Gyokeres can perform for the next 11 games. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden, wow, this guy is amazing. What an amazing signing he's been. No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
That's not the question. That wasn't the question. The question. Listen, you said, as most supported, he's the worst signing.
Worst signing ever. 65 million. We've got 10 goals from him.
No,
right now,
15.
is that enough?
We've got 15. You want to include Trossard's goals?
No, well,
we're going to include Gyokeres's. Listen,
we're not doing
all right, we'll do 10 in the league then. Let's do 10 in the league. It's not the worst. It's not great.
It's not the worst.
What the question is, are you more open to loving him? I'll tell you what, let me make this easier for you. In Drogba's first season, 10 goals. Second season, 12 goals. Goes on to be a cult hero. If Gyokeres wins the league at Arsenal, you're not going to care about how many goals he got. So the question is, hold on. The question is, because the context of the question is you said you're done with him. We should move him on. You said he's the worst signing in our history. These are not little statements, bro. These are statements you just got to stand on. You just got to stand on it.
Facts. So facts. I'm standing on it.
What are you saying now? Is what
that's exactly what I'm standing on it.
So you still say he should go down. So you still think
I'm saying that that one performance today doesn't change my view on Gyokeres as a whole. What it has done is
at the end of the season.
What it has done. Let me answer the question, Rom, since I let you ask me the question. Yeah. What I'm saying is that performance today has given me belief and given me confidence that he can push on for the rest of the season, and he can hopefully be the man that we win the league because of Gyokeres rather than in spite of Gyokeres. For a long part of the season, I thought we were going to win the league in spite of Gyokeres.
Yeah,
but he's now shown me that for the rest of the season, he can actually be a driving force into why we win the Premier League. Bro, if he does do that, I promise you, Rom, I'll get an Arsenal shirt of Gyokeres 14 on the back.
Oh,
I promise you I will. I promise you I will. If Gyokeres gets another, there's 10 games left in the league. If he can get another 5 goals, yeah, I'll be happy with 15. He doesn't even have to be 15, because I don't care about the numbers, yeah. But let's say, in my opinion, if he can get us like another 5, we probably will win the league. That's probably what we need from Gyokeres. Like, if he can step up, get us another 4 or 5 goals, and we win the league, not in spite of Gyokeres, but because of Gyokeres, bro, I'll hold my hands up and I'll tell you, man, he is the truth. I'll buy Gyokeres 14. I'll do a Batman thing again. I'll do it all. But we're not there yet because of this one game. He's got to perform over the stretch of the season from now on.
All right, let me say this. Yeah, I actually think Gyokeres will score more than 5 in the league this season. Now, I think he'll hit 17 to 20. I think he's got at least 7 goals in him. What I saw from him,
that's big amount still.
That's unanimously a good season. Everyone would say that's a good season.
17 goals, 7 goals in your next. There's 11 games left. I think we played 27, so 11 games. If he plays in all 11, I actually expect him to. This is the thing. I expect more from Gyokeres. I know there's a player in there. He just needs to show it, and he just needs to be catered for. And I think, listen, you make a good point, Huss. Spurs are awful. We played them at the perfect time. New manager, injuries to their knees. Like, it is just a good time to play them. So you're right. We can't. It's tongue in cheek. I'm just trying to get you on some RICO charges.
You got me.
He's such an enigma. Gyokeres is such an enigma to me.
He's so unique.
He's so interesting. He's such an interesting player because he loves to do the physical stuff, but he's actually a bit better at the tippy-tappy kind of football where he just gets a one touch and lays off. And he's, like I said, the goal tally right now, it's not bad. It's not bad. 10 in the league. Our top goal scorer in the league last year was Havertz with 9. For me, the comparison that I've made with Gyokeres was, I think I said it to Huss, was like, I think he could be like a Lacazette level kind of player.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
That's why when we signed him, I said, worst case. That's I know when we signed him, I said, I don't know what to expect from him because Lacazette had that physical kind of stuff with him too. He had the finish with him early days, but what we did expect with Gyokeres was goals.
Yeah,
and so for me, that's all I want. I wasn't here. I just wanted someone to finish the goals and get I just wanted an Arsenal player back on the top of the scoring charts again.
Yeah.
So to see, he's on 10 right now. He's, like I said, 15 in all competitions. 20 if he gets 20, so 5 more, 20 all competitions. That's a decent first season. Like you can't really turn your nose up at that.
No, 5 more in the league or something,
mate. Do you know what it is? I think we need more lads. Listen,
we do, but I'm just setting the bar. I'm saying I don't know what to expect from him.
No, because Mo, listen,
he scores his goals in bunches. That's what we've seen at the minute.
Yeah, I think most of his goals have come in the last month. Like 80% of his goals have come in the last month or so. But the thing is, lads, we got 11 Premier League games. If we get to the final of the FA Cup, I think that's another 4 games. Champions League, we get to the final, semi-final, that's 4 to 8 games. Carabao Cup final. We've probably got a minimum of 20 games left this season. You could maybe say 16 to 20. I think Gyokeres could. I really expect him to get 10 minimum. I'll be honest.
You know what it is, though, Rob? I was going to say it's not actually about the number, though. Like we do focus a lot on the number, but let's say, for example, we go to that Carabao Cup final. Gyokeres gets a brace there. We win the trophy. Maybe he gets a goal against Man City at the Etihad. It's not necessarily going to be about how many numbers, but then if he does get over, I think 15 is probably the number that we'd have all collectively as a group had as the minimum we'd take from the start of the season when we first signed him.
In the Prem or
in the league, in the league, you'd be like, if he takes 15, I think we all probably expected. We was hoping for 20 plus or 20
plus,
yeah, and then you would have taken 17, 18, but worst comes to worst, 15. Probably what we would have said at the start of the season.
Yeah,
17
he's on track
because it's a decent tally if you get around that. Like we've had people are calling Giroud world-class striker. He never hit more than 16,
17 maybe.
He never hit more than 16 in the league. I think Lacazette's best season was around 16 in the league.
Yeah,
I think we all recognize Aubameyang on form was world-class and he hit above 20. I don't think Gyokeres is a striker of that level. He hasn't shown that yet, but he's such an interesting player. That's what I find with him.
Yeah.
That's why I even said in one of the clips that we put out early on, Gyokeres has done just enough. That's what I've always thought. For me, he hasn't done enough to hate on him, but he hasn't done enough to put a lot of praise on him. He's done enough to sort of keep his position, be in the team where we've done the whole thing where he's occupying defenders, he's giving space for our wingers. Then that stopped working for a little bit. He got injured. came back. Took him a little while to sort of get his groove back in. Gabriel Jesus and Havertz came back. But if anything, that only pushed Gyokeres to get better. When there was more competition in the team, he actually started stepping up a bit more. So I think he's finding his feet, and maybe we are now sort of catering to a style which maybe feeds him in, or like what we're seeing now. We're seeing goals that we didn't see before. Them shots from outside the box. Inter Milan, he's got a clean strike of the ball. Spurs today, he's got a clean strike of the ball. When you give him time and you let him actually pick his spot, he seems quite dangerous. But that's the problem in the Prem. You don't get time. Like even when you look at,
that's the thing I was going to say. Go on. Sorry, I was good. Well, I was just going to say, they're fair because one mentioned earlier.
You two having a shambles there.
I know, it's the mic. It's the
Chuckle
mic
Brothers, bro.
Yeah, fully. Because one mentioned it earlier. Like, there's been a lot of games where he's not been able to get a shot off, and I don't like sometimes when we treat it as if like I say it's a tough one because we do have to set him up. But at the same time, there's that balance of like, well, can you get shots yourself? And in the first, 15, 20 minutes of this game, when he started running at Dragosin, he cut inside and got that shot off. And I went just wide, but I remember thinking of it like, bro, you've got a good shot, you know? Like, if you could just get off like 4 shots a game, he will score one, bro. This guy, if he gets a clean shot here, like you said, he bangs off goals. But there was that stat, which was, it's been all over social media this week. I think he's not had a shot on target in like 15 of 25 games, something like that. Something crazy, like not had a shot on target. And I think one thing I've clocked, if you saw a Declan Rice interview, these man do keep an eye on the social media stuff. Like he referenced like 3 social media takes throughout that interview. Declan Rice did. Like he just referenced like, oh, people say it's the worst season, or people say it's this. Like you listen to these man. We saw
Saka's fiance responded to people accusing him of bleaching the other day. I don't know if you see that. They all know what's going on. They know.
Yeah, fully. I remember Gyokeres did that celebration start of the season where he was like touching his hair. So you can tell he actually like sees the talk and he responds to the talk. And it felt like after that talk, for him to have that shot for 15 minutes, I already know he's on different energy today. He's on different type of. Because
I think he definitely knew that today's a game that can change everything. Like we saw it for Eze, you saw it for others. Like you can come into the club as a new signing, and if you score on the derby, you make a name for yourself. But also the type of player the type of goals that we were going to get from him, it's different. I thought he was going to be that guy where you fizz the ball in across the box, he's just going to be there in the back post and tap it in. But he doesn't seem to have that. He's not that kind of player. He's more so pull it back and maybe then he'll knock it into the top corner or give him a second to like pick his corner and strike the ball. That's what he seems more of. He's not quite the like just put the ball across the box and you're just going to find him run into it. You know what though? Havertz does that quite a bit. Yeah. You might just find him in the back post and knocking it in.
Do you know what it is, Matt? I think Gyokeres' movement does let him down. I think he scored a few goals, Forest, Chelsea, where he's tapped them in, but they're sort of like he's not really in a crowded box. To be fair, Chelsea he had good movement against Chelsea. But yeah, Gyokeres, I think it's a big end of the season for him. I think he can silence a lot of doubters, and I'm just happy for him. I just think it's good for him, North London derby, because he needed to score in a big game, innit? He needed to score in a game that actually meant, and I think he scored goals that were important. The second goal obviously puts us back in the lead. But what a performance from Gyokeres. But Eberechi Eze,
one thing I'll just last say on Gyokeres is if you look at it on paper, the teams that he scored goals against, it's not too bad. Spurs, Chelsea, Atletico, Inter Milan. There's got to be someone else.
I think that's the biggest teams.
He plays better, doesn't he, though?
And then people talk about all the other like relegation type of teams that he plays for, but he scored against some good teams there.
He's actually better when the other team are coming to play football. If the other team are coming to play football against Arsenal, Gyokeres is actually more likely to get in behind and get chances. I think he plays better in them sort of games, to be fair.
Well, you've always said he'd be good to come off the bench, like and finish off a game rather than start.
But then I think today disproved that. I think you start him and play him the whole game. You
have to now. Like, he earned it today because I started him today personally. He earned it today for sure, man. Because against that Wolves game, he didn't get any shots against Wolves, not a single shot, let alone on target. Just didn't have a single shot in that game. So But there is a level
We were
between him and
poor.
XG.
But we
Yeah,
were poor as a team that game. But that
I don't
shows
think
when
we
we
created
play
a lot,
with
man.
intent, the chances will open up. But when we do that horseshoe football and we're just trying to just take our time, that's not going to suit him. If you let the defense settle into their low block and settle into the edge of the box, it's not doing him any favors.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Facts. It's not.
All right. Well,
But-
Manu, yeah, let's move on because we're gonna run out of time. Manu did have a good performance today. Got 2 goals himself. Eberechi Eze. He's obviously got 5 goals against Tottenham this season. I think he's got 6 and 5 against Tottenham, which is mad. But he's listen. We've said it on here that we need more from Eze. Huss mentioned it earlier, and we got it today. But my worry is actually, let me not do that. I'll do that in a minute. It's just like I need to see it again against Chelsea because you know what it is with Eze. I clocked today. He's a proper confidence player. Like his reaction after that first goal, you could just see the life and energy back in him, just with the celebration, the joy. Eze is a big character. I think when he joined, one of the things Arteta was saying was one thing he's bought is vibes. It's like the energy around the building's gone up a level because Eze's a positive person, God fearing. He's just very happy. He's a good guy. And when he's not happy, he's probably just not playing as well because he's one of them players that relies on instinctiveness, getting in the right position, playing off the cuff. Even his first goal today, the ball's fired at him. The touch is a bit heavy, but it's in the air, but he reacts instantly and just volleys it in. A very hard technique. So I'm delighted for Eze. Very good for him to get some goals, especially from the start. I think we've all wanted to see him start. He come off the bench against Wolves for about 10 minutes. But yeah, Huss, what did you make of Eze's performance and goals, man?
Yeah, you know what? It's exactly what we know he's capable of doing. You know what I mean? It's exactly what we know he's there to do, what we know he can do, exactly what we want from him. He just pops up in the right place at the right time. He's not necessarily always going to dominate the game and control the whole game. Even today, I wouldn't say it was a game where he like dominated the game or, you know, was running it from start to finish. He's just in the right places at the right times. And, you know, even just linking back to what we were saying before about Gyokeres, I felt today there was definitely a much more active effort to move the ball quick and move the ball forward. Like there was a moment where Raya rolled it straight forward to Eze, gave a first pass to Rice. Rice burst through, tried to pass it to Gyokeres, but it got intercepted. And like those moments, I think that's what you need Eze for. Like that's what he's there for. You get him in some space in and around the edge of the box. You get him some space in the transition. Today we actually played to Eze and Gyokeres' best strength, to be honest. And it's probably the first time the whole season we've done that in a game. We've actually just played to our best attacker's strengths. Do you know what I mean? And we got goals out of it. So I think Eze, he has to get a run of games now. It can't be this. He has to get a run of games. Like even if he doesn't play well against Chelsea, has to play the game after, and ideally the game after that. Like just let the boy get going because even if he doesn't play well in a particular moment, he can get a goal any second, any moment, anytime the ball flashes around the box. Even some shots that got blocked, right foot, left foot. Like to be fair, he could have scored another one where he beat a couple man, he cut inside and he got blocked. Probably should have scored, to be honest.
Even another one. There was another one where he played Trossard in instead, but he could have had a shot instead.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think him being there alone is like an added XG of like 1. Do you know what I mean? Like his mere presence alone is like you're almost guaranteed another goal. And we've I don't know what it's been. I don't know what the particular reason is. I guess it's off the ball stuff in certain games. Maybe it doesn't work the same way. But you know, I think what we saw from him today is what we know he can do. So
yeah, it's an interesting one, Huss, because that's what I was saying about my worry is. Does Arteta trust him to do it again against Chelsea? I think Rafinha's approach to the game will be a lot different. It's at the Emirates. There's less onus on them to attack.
Did he play against Chelsea in the cup?
I don't think he started. I'm pretty sure Odegaard started.
I think it was Odegaard.
Wait, do you mean at home or away?
I feel like in the away game, he might have played and not had a great game. Maybe got sub. I'm not 100% sure.
He started in the home game against Chelsea.
I'm in the second leg, sorry.
Leg. Yeah, in the second leg, Eze started.
He did start.
In the first leg, he didn't start. Odegaard started.
So yeah, I don't. But you were seeing now. I think I think he's, he doesn't change the lineup too much, does he? We spoke about that a lot, and it's a lineup that's worked today. I'd expect him to start pretty much the same lineup against Chelsea.
You know what? I think Gyokeres, Eze, and Saka can be quite important. Them three today, that sort of trio linked that even Eze's second goal, it comes from Gyokeres flicking it on and whatever. And I think Eze can unlock Gyokeres because Gyokeres' goal, his first goal, Eze sort of distracts the centre back, dummies it, and then it falls to Gyokeres and he takes one touch and bang. And what I've clocked with Gyokeres is he just needs one touch and space and he'll hit it. But Eze, I think he can unlock a lot of players because I think he takes a lot of the attention away from Saka, a lot of the attention away from Gyokeres. And I think he actually frees up Declan Rice because I think there's less sort of emphasis on Rice to drive the team forward. And I think Eze sort of enjoys being a focal point more than Odegaard. I think Odegaard actually likes doing the sort of tippy-tappy stuff and is happy for Rice to drive forward. So, yeah, I don't know, Mo. What do you think? Do you think we'll see Eze start again against Chelsea?
Well, did you see Mikel's comments after where he said Eze was annoyed with him, and he said now he said Eze played with a bit of an attitude, and Eze was annoyed with him for not starting him last week and only playing him at the end, and he said so he said he kind of like had an attitude on him that he really wanted to prove himself today, and he played with it. And he said he's now finally understanding how to get the best out of Eze. So I think that's a very key comment because I think that now he's understanding maybe he got it a bit wrong with how he approached him with the turn of the year because Eze started playing really well and then seemed like one mistake and then he just didn't get into the team for 4 games and then like it really ruined his confidence a bit. We didn't see the same Eze for a while. So I think now if what Mikel is saying is true and this is what he wanted, like Eze stepped up to the challenge, we got a big win from him. I think he's basically saying, all right, I've got to trust you now. So I think he will play him in the upcoming games. I think he offers something a bit different, like you said, like where he can play a bit more of the focal point, where he gives our attack a bit more of a just more of a threat. He's just so much more of a threat when he gets onto the ball because he turns around and looks to attack. And his link up with Gyokeres, because I think did he get an assist or he played a key role for Gyokeres' first goal. And then Ødegaard got the assist.
He dummied. Yeah, he dummied.
And then I think Ødegaard got the assist.
Key goal on Ødegaard's goal as well.
Yeah, and I think Ødegaard got the assist as well for the second goal. So I think, and the second goal was when Ødegaard played with a bit more impetus and just went forward and played it in a bit quicker. So I think if we do play with that style, I think Eze is gonna make a big difference for the team. And I think he just needs to play with that mentality because what was lacking for the last few weeks was he looked lost. He looked lost on the pitch. And today he didn't. And I think he needs to remember who he is. And I think he did now. And generally, from his time at Palace as well, Eze sort of turns up from this point on. And that's what we need. We've seen too many times in the last couple seasons where our players have sort of just what's the word? They kind of just deteriorated in the last couple months of the season. So that's what we need. We need someone that's actually now just gonna step up and take those opportunities. And it's the perfect time for a performance like that. I did think as well. Well, Ødegaard's back fit, right? He came back on, so there's always that competition. But I think Mikel needs to be brave and make those changes where we can't just stick to the same old as what hasn't quite worked in the last 2 years.
We've got to get them both on together. I think we've got to get. That's what I'm seeing from one thing I've realised today, and obviously a lot of us have been really harsh on Eze. We've been harsh on Eze. We've been harsh on Gyokeres. Really harsh on. I've been harsh on Gyokeres. Maybe you two have been harsh on Eze. Maybe we'll say that. Let's say for the way we've actually played this season, we haven't played to either their strengths at all. Like there's not been much of an effort the whole season to really maximise the best out of those two guys. And I do think with Gyokeres, I've seen it for the last 3 or 4 games where it felt like we've changed our style of play just a tiny bit to just get the ball forward quicker. But today, if you actually kept an eye on David Raya, see how quick he was moving at all times. He was trying to move rapid. Like, we're actually playing to get the ball forward quick. And that is a different tactical approach. I think a lot of the reason why Eze and Gyokeres have struggled is because we take so long bringing that ball up the pitch. We take so long. And even as much as we see Gyokeres struggle with that, that's why Eze struggles too. Sometimes the defenders just crowding him, midfield crowd him, struggles to get the ball. There's no space for him to play in. And, you know, their entire skill set is made redundant when we play that style of football. Mm-hmm. And the way we kind of played today was a lot more direct and with a lot more intent. I think Ødegaard can be a key factor in that. I know he's kind of known for being the horseshoe guy, but I think he could actually be the guy who picks up the ball fast and zips it forward quicker. I mean, I think everyone played pretty well today, but if I'm honest, I didn't see loads from Zubimendi, to be honest. I didn't see loads that made me think the way Gyokeres and Eze maybe silenced a few critics. I still looked at it today and thought we could be playing Rice, Ødegaard, Eze in this midfield, to me, and we could play good football. So I think that just showed that we've got different dimensions. The fact Ødegaard's back is hopefully can only be a benefit. I don't think that should be the end for Eze. And Eze did a nice little piece of skill on the left wing as well. So he showed he's still got that. He can go out wide and he can, like, even if he's not necessarily playing in the 10, he can go to the left and have an impact on the game. So hopefully it's not as simple as Ødegaard comes in. That means Eze's got to sit down. And I don't want to see that no more, man.
No, like you said, the urgency that we played with today is exactly what we need to benefit our team. That's why I was so scathing of Mikel, like in the last video, because for me, like it's clearly today he clearly told them like this is what you need to do. It's a derby, go out there and win. So they played with that sort of impetus. This whole let's just play safe. If we can't win, let's get the draw mentality. I don't want that, because when we do that, we're settling. We've got a settling approach, and so that to me is why I think it does come from Mikel as well. And when we do that, when we send that message down, we play with that urgency, we get the best out of this team. And that's the only way we're going to do it. And like I said, Zubimendi, I do think he played a bit better today, to be fair. I do think everyone had a bit more about them with like trying to play the ball inside a bit. I think Zubimendi was high up the pitch a lot of the time, playing the ball forward. So maybe you didn't see any like key, like incisive passes that took out two players in a game. But I do think he was actually pushing the pace quite a bit. So I do get what you mean, though. It wasn't anything that made us say like a super like wow performance from him. But
you know, I feel sorry for Zubimendi. My cousins, he wasn't having Zubimendi in pre-season, which shocked me. I was just like, I sort of started doubting his ball knowledge, to be honest. I was thinking this guy actually don't know ball, but in reality, I don't think Zubimendi's what we thought he was. I'll be honest. I thought we were getting Xabi Alonso, Rodri, Busquets, Khan. I don't know what he is. I actually don't know what Zubimendi is. I don't know what he is, but I trust him. In my head, if Rice and Zubimendi start in centre midfield, the chances of losing the game are slim. However, the chances of winning the game aren't as high as you'd like. I think they're both too safe. Rice less so, which surprises me. But you see Zubimendi, some of the goals he scored. The technique is clearly what separates him from most. It's his technical ability, his decision making. He gave the ball away a few times, I think, today, where in the first half, and I'm pretty sure similar to United, but Tottenham just didn't really have the players to punish us. So I do think Zubimendi. The thing with me is, lads, I'm going easy on the new signings. I'm more looking at your Trossards, your Sakas, Odegaard, Rice, Saliba, Gabriel, Raya, people who have been here or who have been playing in the Premier League for a lot of the time. You got to remember, Zubimendi's never played in the Prem. Gyokeres has never played in the Prem. Mascara. By the way, Mascara, what a player. Like, what a player he is. We'll talk about him in a sec. But yeah, I don't know with Zubimendi. Like,
you're right.
I don't think we need to criticize him.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not too critical of him. I don't think he's necessarily like a must start every single game. I don't think we have to drop Eze.
I think
to get Ødegaard in. I think we can play Rice, Ødegaard, Eze in a lot of these games now. I don't think
I
we
think
need Rice
against,
and Zubimendi together.
you know, it is Huss. Against Wolves, you're right. Against Wolves, you don't need Rice and Zubimendi. But I think in every game where the team there's a high chance they could beat
Mhm.
you, I think
Spurs,
them two have
Chelsea,
to
yeah.
start.
Against Chelsea, I would
Yeah.
say Rice Zubimendi for sure. I would do.
It's like no, it's like what you said, Ron. Because what I saw from Zubi, what I loved about him, was when England played Spain in the Euros. That was my first time
Ah,
I properly watched
yeah.
Zubimendi, and I was like,
Same.
"Yo, this guy is a
Oh,
baller."
no.
He was out Rodri and Rodri. Like when
Yeah.
Rodri came off and he
Did he
came
come
on, I
on
was
for
like,
Rodri?
"Okay."
He
Yeah,
come
that's what
on
I'm
at
saying.
half
And what he
time.
was
Half-time,
doing,
innit? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was doing it in a like quicker way and everything. And I was like, okay, that's when I first got like my first like proper eyeful of him. And then I followed him a little bit here and there, seeing him at Sociedad and that. But I didn't know what to expect because what I've been seeing from him in the last few weeks wasn't a guy that was on the ball. Like we thought he was a bit more of a newer, younger Jorginho. But what we've been seeing in the last few weeks wasn't that. It was a player that was just pressing high, getting tackles, like a lot of duels. But on the ball, he wasn't offering us what we thought that he was going to be. Like we made the Fabregas kind of comparison earlier on. So he shows glimpses that he can do that stuff on the ball. But for a few weeks, he hasn't been doing like he wasn't doing that. He was just kind of just showing he's got a lot of like
You know, it is though,
urgent, like
Mo.
I don't know, a lot of
I
defensive
think
awareness. But
I think his role in the team is that though, and I think that's sort of because he's not got like Fabregas had like a sort of free role. He Zubimendi is I don't know who he reminds me of.
He
Is
hasn't
it
got the passing
Skulls?
range of
But is
like a
he?
Fabregas or even a Scholes.
mm,
Yeah, he's not
If you
got the
was going to say
passing, has
Scholes.
he? Yeah,
he's
No,
not
he's
got
that's
not
the
the
got
thing.
passing
That's
range, but I think he's got the running intensity that and the dual
that they
intensity that
didn't.
some of
Yeah,
them
that
don't
they
he
have.
might be
didn't.
more of
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
Lamps. He might be more of a Lampard than the
He's not
rest of them.
even
Do you know what I mean?
Lampard though, is
He's
he?
not
Because
even Lamps. Yeah. You know what? If I could compare him to any Arsenal midfielder, it'd be Aaron Ramsey.
yeah,
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's the only one
yeah,
I
I
can
like
think of
that,
in
you
my
know.
head. That's the only person I can think of in my head. Because remember, Ramsey was never really a 10, he was never really an 8, he was never really a 6. He was just a guy who give you like a bit of everything. And like
Mm,
pops up with goals, good finishes. That's just who very hard work, kind of reliable technically. Like, I
yeah,
don't know. That's the only
I
person I
love
can kind of
Ramsey.
think of. Yeah, I love
yeah.
I think
Ramsey too. This is
Ramsey's
what I
an
mean. I'm not,
underrated player as well.
yeah, underrated Arsenal hero, man. Like, won us a couple of trophies single handedly, like in the
Nah,
finals anyway. Not,
big up
but yeah,
Rambo.
Zubimendi wise, yeah.
Big up
Zubimendi
Rambo.
wise,
Big.
I don't want to be critical of him. You're all right. We shouldn't be too critical on the new signings. I've been quite critical of them. It's just because there's so much riding on this season, man. That's why it
Shall we
feels
say
so like,
well,
God.
this victory kind of was courtesy of Andre Berta. Can we say that?
What as a Gyokeres? I
As
don't know. Can we?
Yokeres.
Can we? I
Everything
said,
is. This is what
can
I'm
we?
saying, bro.
Can
These
we?
next 11 games, bro. Everyone's going down a hero if we get it done. Don't you know
Mm,
what it is? The fact that we've had this little spell of losing games and coming back to where we are now, it almost makes it. If we get there, it's just going to be so much sweeter. Like everyone is coming off as a legend if we
mm.
get this done.
No, we really needed this. We really needed this because I wasn't even fussed about the Man City Newcastle game like that. Like we just
No.
needed to do our job and
No, I
take
called
from there.
White. I called our brother-in-law. I called our brother-in-law before the game. He said, "Oh, I'm checked out. I don't even know if I'm that asked about watching it." North London derby. You're telling me you're
Nah,
checked
That's
that's
out?
not.
How
crazy.
are Arsenal fans checked out pre-game? What is
Hey,
going on?
us,
We're,
I
we're
don't want
still
you
top,
mentioning him ever again. Don't mention
bro.
that brother-in-law
I
ever
felt
again.
this energy a bit from Arsenal fans. Even you admit yourself, Mo. You went in a bit last episode. Like there was this energy of like it's done, it's over. Like this shit
Mm,
is not over, man.
I think it's
We got
understandable though, Huss. I
yeah.
think
No,
I,
but I'm
I
saying
get no,
after I
I
got it off my
completely get it
chest,
because it's Arsenal
yeah,
PTSD. I completely get it,
yeah,
bro. But we actually have to. They
yeah.
had to give us something today. They had to
yeah,
give us
Mm,
yeah,
something,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
exactly.
now we got to give him it all back. Like now, but it's not
Mm,
over yet. It's every game's the same. Every game
Mate,
isn't a North London derby. We've got 11
yeah.
North
mm.
London derby.
Huss, Brav, I'll tell you what, yeah, I see some graphic. I've been seeing a lot of graphics in the last week after that Wolves defeat, but I saw one that sent shivers down my spine. Was
Go on.
I'm pretty sure City's first title win, United were 6 or 8 points clear with 4 games to go. And then they end up losing the league on goal difference, didn't they? So they finished level. So even when we get to 4 games left, it might not be over. Like we need to strap ourselves in for the ups and downs of this. But the reason why I think everyone was so annoyed after Wolves was because when you think about it, I was chatting to my boy. For me, we should have beaten Liverpool, should have beaten Forest. United's a weird one, but let's take Brentford and say we beat them. And then you got quick math, 6 points more. Those 6 points more put us 11 points clear currently ahead of City. And if they won their game in hand, it'd be 8 points. That's where the frustration comes from, is we haven't taken the opportunities to create that separation. But look, we won today. It is what it is. Quick shout out to two of Andrea Berta's signings, Nkapie, Mascara. I thought Nkapie was class today. And I think, do you know what it is with defenders? When defenders have good games, not great games, good games, they go under the radar. And that's what Nkapie had done today. He didn't really put a foot wrong. I don't remember him doing anything that I didn't like. And this is what I was sort of trying to explain to you a few weeks ago, was Nkapie, you got to remember, he's only 23. He's already won a league in Germany, which has to be semi-respected. He is a class player. And you're going to see, and you're going to come back to me, maybe in 6 months, might be a year, might be 2 years. And you're going to say, you know what, Rom? I like Nkapie because he's class. But one player, I'll let you obviously respond to that but one player I want to ask you boys about as well is Mascara. I think Mascara being at the club, I'm going to say a madness here, makes me not worry about Saliba leaving. As a matter of fact, if Saliba left,
I hate when people say that.
Famous last words.
No, it's not famous last words, because I tell you what, Saliba, I love Saliba, yeah, I love him. This isn't no revisionism or going back. I think Saliba's top 3 centre-backs in the world. I rate him very highly. But do you know what he showed me today, which worried me, Saliba? Showed me a little bit of nerves in that first half. There was just a little bit of nervousness, and a few of the boys in the group chat have said Saliba shows signs of nervousness. He's not young anymore. He's 24. It's relatively young, but he's not a kid. Mascara's 21. But Saliba's been at the club for time. He's part of the team. Like, he's started over 100 games for us. He knows how we play. Nkapie is new to this, is what I'm saying. I know you're trolling me. Mascara, he plays without fear. I don't know where they found this guy. Like, where did they find Mascara from?
Nah, Mascara.
That's one of
I remember when we got linked with him. I remember we got linked with him, and we were linked with that Gerald Hato.
Yeah, I wanted Hato.
See, I didn't know too much about either of them, but there was a lot of hype about Hato. I didn't really know him, but I went. I just watched a couple of YouTube compilations of like Mascara and stuff, and it just on the ball, he looked really good, like bringing it out of defense and just finding his way out. So I thought, and what was it? 12 million, 11 million, 13 million.
Whatever it was a robbery, mate. It was a robbery.
And what Hato was what, like 40 million?
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, so I thought, all right, cool. Makes sense. He's a backup defender. May as well get the cheaper one if he looks good. But from what I've seen, and apparently all the talk is he was one of Spain's like prodigy like defenders coming up. Seen comparisons between him and Kubasi and stuff like that from when they were in the under-21 team, all of that stuff. So, man, he's promising.
He was highly rated. I think the talk was when we got him, the talk in Spain was like, how the hell has he gone there for so cheap? I think they knew. They knew
Real
that,
Madrid
like,
fans are furious. Real Madrid fans couldn't believe it.
And I do think there's something weird with like La Liga deals, I'll be honest. I've always said that. I think there's just something dodgy about La Liga deals.
In-house in the Liga or out of the Liga.
There's always seemed to be like, 10 million, but like someone got an extra 7 million somewhere.
But you got to remember, Huss, he only had 1 year left on his contract and he wasn't signing.
I think it was right? Competing for him.
How tall is he? How tall is he, Mascara?
I think he's got to be 6'3", 6'2". But remember, I was saying to you boys, like, Arteta should use him more at right back. Brings him on at right back today for Timber. And Mascara, I can't remember Mascara making a mistake ever. This is what I mean. I know what you're saying.
The one he has, the Newcastle. But what we're calling mistakes are so little. Like,
but this is the thing, Rob.
He miskicked the ball and gave away a corner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they
that's
scored.
minor.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
The thing is, though,
yeah.
with great centre backs, I do think with great centre backs like
Three,
Saliba and Gabriel, like you can kind of slot. I don't want to say anyone in, but like it's a lot easier to come in if you've got a Gabriel next year or you've got Saliba next year. So that's where I just caveat it. Like, let's say we did just get rid of Saliba and that Mosquera was all our trusting. We don't know yet, is what I'd have to say. I think it's just different coming in and playing a couple of games and being that guy when you've got those guys around you. You've got Timber, you've got Mosquera, you've got Gabriel, you've got
Huss,
Saliba.
I know. Do you know it is, bro?
Makes you cautious about when you say that.
What I'm more saying is, I'm not saying, all right, see you later, William. Off you go, mate. Go get your moves to Real Madrid. What I'm saying more so is, before Mosquera came in, I didn't know how we could ever replace him, because there's this common thing amongst Arsenal fans that Saliba will eventually join Real Madrid. They don't even mention Barcelona. There's just this thing that Saliba will go to Real Madrid. I actually think I struggled to see him leaving. I think if he leaves, it will be on a free transfer because he's got 5 years, new contract. I don't really see why we'd sell him. But my point is, before Mosquera came in, I thought we would be like, it'd be a wrap if Saliba left. Now I'm more like, I can see a future without him. Do you know what I mean? Like Gabriel, I can see a future without him before Calafiori and Capia come in. I think he's more replaceable because what Saliba gives you on the ball is very underrated. It's very hard to
That's
replace.
what I mean.
Like,
that's what I think he's irreplaceable. You know, our win rate goes down from like 65 to 45%. Pretty sure.
Yeah,
with and without it. That's a crazy stat, and that's with Mosquera being available. So
yeah. No, I give you that. I give you that. To be honest,
have you seen
go on, mate.
Have you seen when we signed Mosquera and he brought his younger brother, and he obviously his younger brother was tall, had a similar frame. And Mikel was like, "You get in as well. You take a photo with it."
Yeah.
So he's probably got his eyes on him.
He's a baller too, right?
Apparently, yeah. Spain. He plays for Spain under 15s.
Is his name? Yes.
You know what? I've always thought, why have we not just brought Timber's brother as well?
I've thought that as well.
Nah, but I don't know if he's as good, is he? Yeah, I don't know
if he is now. There was a point where they were obviously both playing at Ajax together, so
I feel like twins have got to be a similar level. Remember Fabio and Raphael?
But Raphael was better still. But Fabio was similar.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. I've just seen Mosquera's little brother here. He's 15, captain of Valencia's youth team. Yeah. Mate, there's a picture here. I don't know if I can. Let me try and share my screen quickly. This is funny. Bro, why is this guy so tall for his age? Look at this. This is funny, man. Look at this.
So Mikel was sizing him up.
Can you see that?
No, let me see.
Not yet.
Hold on. Here we go. Look at the size.
Yo, that's him and his teammates.
Bro, that's him and his teammates.
Now I'm not afraid of losing Saliba.
Bro, like, I mean, I can sort of understand why Mick Arteta wants.
Imagine we actually had both pair in centre halves.
That would be bad.
Like 3 years. That would be a mad thing.
Hey, whilst we're talking about mistakes, quickly, Declan Rice obviously gives away the goal. It's a bit of a theme with the team at the minute, giving goals away, sin it against Wolves. Let me quickly just read this out to you, boys. So straight after the goal, someone posted this on Twitter, and it says, Arsenal are the worst team in the league for conceding straight after scoring. I'm not actually sure how far back this goes, but this covers since January. So United 1-1, 10 minutes, we lost our lead. United 2-2. Took 3 minutes, we lost the lead. Brentford 1-0, 10 minutes, lost the lead. Wolves, when we were 2-1 up, took 5 minutes for us to concede. And then Spurs 1-0, took 2 minutes. So there is a problem. There is a recurring theme here of us taking the lead. And it's recent, which worries me. Now, I know we had Luke on and he was saying, what pressure? The pressure's playing for the club, but the pressure heightens when the fans get nervous and the expectations raise. They've been risen for the last 4 seasons, but it's different now. This season feels like it's ours. Do you boys worry that there's a collective nervousness in this team? Because Declan Rice is the last player I associate nervousness with, but he's actually probably given the ball away through arrogance rather than complacency or nerves.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Mo. What do you think? Do you think there's anything in that what you've just heard and how
I
quickly we
don't-
concede?
well, they generally they always do say in football that you're most vulnerable after you've just scored a goal. So I
Yeah,
do think maybe there is a bit of we get maybe a little bit too relaxed after it. We rest on our laurels a bit. Well, we have done that where we score a goal and we kind of sit back. We kind of think, all right, the job's half done in a way.
yeah,
So I do think there's a little bit of complacency in the team when we score a goal sometimes. And sometimes I think we need that. Like we needed them to score that goal because otherwise, you know what we could have done? We could have just sat back and just tried to hold out for a 1-0 because we trust our defense so much. So low key, I'm kind of glad that happened so that the team could get the fire back in them and go and finish the game off because that's what I'd rather see. I want to see us kill games rather than kill games off defensively and just because that's what we were doing a lot in the early part of the season where we looked so comfortable after a 1-0 lead that we'll just control the game, we'll just handle it, professional performance, and just not let the other team creep in. So lately, I just want to see us keep fighting and just beating teams. I want to see us keep scoring rather than go on these clean sheet and trying to just save clean sheets.
In terms of,
but you know what with Rice, I will say as well with Rice, I just feel like it just wasn't his best performance today. I feel like he played well, but there were a few like passes. Remember, there was a time he could have slid Gyokeres in, and he just didn't quite get that pass right.
Earlier.
But I don't want to be too critical because there was another pass that he did that was so nice. I think it was to Trossard, where he looked like he was going to pass it the outside, and then he just shaped his body and played it inside into Trossard. And I was like, such a nice pass. So I think he was playing really well, and like you said, it was just a mistake out of arrogance. So you know, with Rice, you always get like an 8 out of 10 performance, but I think today could have been a 9 out of 10 if he just got those correct and didn't make that mistake. But that mistake drags it down to a 7.
Sofa scores give him a 6.3. So he's actually got. You're right. It wasn't Rice's greatest game. You're right. It wasn't.
He did some good defensive stuff.
He
got some good interceptions and
fine margins because it could have been his best performance if he just didn't make that mistake and he just got his pass a little bit better. They'd be calling it an 8.3 or a 9.
Yeah, it's true. That
mistake was probably thingy. It's probably the worst thing he's done for us. Like only mistake I really remember off the top of my head. Like, and it's that's quite a big error. It's not a small thing to like.
No, it's not.
So it goes under the rug now because we won 4-1. But in reality, that was stupidity. And when you go back to the question, what you said there, Rob, like, do I worry about nerves in the team? Yes, man. Hell yes, I worry about the nerves. The only thing I worry about in this team is the nerves, truthfully. Everything else, I ain't got to worry about. Like, they've got everything else down to a T. It's the nerve. And even like when we think we referenced like the Hincapi clearance against Aston Villa and then Declan Rice today and just some of the mistakes we make, like David Raya's mistake against Wolves, that to me is nerve. Even though it looks like complacency, I think when you're doing things that's a little bit out of character, that's not what the normal Rice would do there. Do you know what I mean? Normal Rice makes a safe decision all the time. Why? He's almost just doing too much in the moment. Like that is nerves to me. Do you know what I'm saying? And then the same thing with like Saliba a little bit at times, and the same thing with David Raya and Gabriel. In those moments of 90th minute, Raya's doing things that you're not doing the other 89. Even as a team, the way we drop deep into that shell is not something we do for the first 75 minutes of the game. So to me, that's uncharacteristic. That's nerves. That's a mentality thing. So I definitely worry about it. And I don't think that's something you can just shake off tomorrow. I think they have to play through that. You don't get rid of nerves. You just have to learn to play with the nerves.
Huss, you know, I think the only way they get rid of that is winning. They have to win the big one. Yeah, I think you're right. You can't shake that. You can't. Yeah. You just have to
go win through it.
Yeah, you have to show yourself that you are good enough to deliver what everyone's expecting.
Facts.
For me, why I don't think that mistake was nerves was kind of his mentality straight after. Was almost like, I just made a mistake, guys, and it was like, we'll get back up. Like, don't worry. He looked so confident in the fact that
he was smiling, wasn't he? He was like, I messed up. Sorry.
But he trusted the team to get it going. That's not like me. You're probably thinking that's not like me.
Yeah.
I owe it to you. Yeah.
And he knows no one's sticking it on him either, because you
Yeah.
can't, like you said, Huss, like he doesn't make mistakes, so you're bound to.
And he held his hands up before anyone could get onto him. And like
Yeah.
he kind of
I
took
don't love that, I'll
accountability.
be
He was
honest.
like, my bad. I got
I
that.
don't love when he does all that. I don't love how he just does. I don't love you losing the ball, us conceding, and you're going around going, "Go on, heads up, lads. It's all right. Allow it for a sec, mate. Like, you're the one. You're the one who needs to keep your head up.
He
My
done
head's up.
the that was after we scored, and then
Yeah, it was actually,
yeah,
wasn't
it
it?
was
That's
after.
the thing. After we scored, he's telling everyone, stay concentrated. Keep your head on. Yeah, and then immediately he's doing a mistake. He's like, right, hold up, guys. My bad. Like, just
You know what's funny?
you
Huss?
know
That's
what?
definitely a meme now. That's a meme because it's like
Yeah,
there's
right.
so many things you can relate to that. Like when you tell your girl off for being stupid or making a mistake or something, and 2 minutes later you go and do the same thing. It's like it's such a memeable moment for Rice, man.
Yeah, fully. I think, yeah, I just think it is nerves, and I think like you said, the only way we're getting through that is winning. They can't shake that off. That's. I'm sure even like Man City players or Barca players, when they go into tough games, they do have nerves, but they know how to play with
Mate,
it. They know how to
Real
play through
Madrid
it.
lost 2-1 to Osasuna yesterday in the title race. Celtic are in the title race. We all know how Celtic dominate that league. Lost to Hibs today. Rangers drew with
Yeah,
Livingston. Like football, like you said, the biggest teams, it comes with that pressure, but you got to be a big enough player to deal with the weight of the shirt, and that just goes to all big clubs. But listen, lads, Chelsea next week. I'm pretty sure we're going to do a preview show before that, so we don't need to do our score predictions or lineup. But
Yeah.
how are we feeling after that win today? Huge game, same time next Sunday, Super Sunday, back to back. Liam Rosenior's Chelsea come to the Emirates. I'm personally quite confident. I think we have to win with a statement like today. I don't want to see no scrappy 1-0s. Like today, like you said, Huss, we've forgotten about Rice's mistake because you're too happy about everything else that came after. Whereas with other games this season, like Wolves at home, you're not even enjoying the victory because it's so shaky that you're like, I can't believe we've had to win that way. So I think it's important we win with conviction. But Huss, you feeling confident ahead of that game?
definitely feeling more confident ahead of the game. I think it's going to be a tougher game than Spurs. I think Chelsea are a significantly better team than Spurs. Significantly better.
I do think they got discipline issues though, Huss. I think they remind me a lot of Arsenal under Arteta 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, facts. They're a young team. They're a young team who don't truly know themselves yet. I caught a little bit of their game yesterday against Burnley.
Yeah,
I can't say they're particularly impressive or
they're not.
you know, they're not bad, but you know what it is? You know what teams are like against Arsenal? They show up for that game. And you know, for some reason, I've just got this feeling already that Liam Rosenior's just got it in for us. I feel like because he had that bad touch against us, and that's just going to add some fuel to his fire. Do you know what I mean?
Even before the touch us, he's telling flipping players, he's saying, "Get back in your own half."
Exactly.
He's like, "Get back in your half. Stay over there." He's doing
Exactly.
all of that.
And we beat him in the cup final when he was a Hull City player. So maybe he holds
deeper,
some.
dark.
It's deeper for him. It's deeper for him. So
because he
I don't
thought they
think
were
that
going to
means
win
much.
that as well. We had to come back to win that, didn't we?
2-0 up. They were 2-0 up as well. So yeah, and for all we know, like Sandy Cazorla might have been giving him some verbal. Arteta might have been giving him some verbal that day. You know what I mean? There's probably something that he remembers. He's thinking that. But you know, I think truthfully, we are a better team than Chelsea. We're at home. We had this exact same fixture earlier on in the season, right? We beat Spurs 4-1, then we had Chelsea and drew 1-1.
Really?
That was one of the most disappointing performances of the season for me when we played Chelsea.
And we dropped points before it. We dropped points to Sunderland, international break, and then it was Spurs and Chelsea.
Yeah, Spurs, Chelsea. Sure. And we did play Bayern Munich in between the games, and that's a good thing this time. We've got what 10 days off? I think?
A week? Nah, just a week.
A week off, yeah, 4 week off.
I tried adding 3 days to the week, you know.
Yeah, sorry.
When are we? When's the FA Cup game?
Am I going mad?
Nah, you're thinking of Brighton. We got Brighton midweek.
Is it okay? So cool. Either way, man, we got a 4 week off.
Do you know what? Let me.
It's rare we've had that this season.
Let me quickly just. It is the 1st of March, actually, Huss. Yeah, but it's February, 28 days. Sorry, you spun my head there. It is.
No.
No, you're right. It is the 1st of March. You're right.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that's why it's put my head as well. Because I
Yeah,
thought that
that's
must
why.
mean it's like 10 days. Yeah.
It's a leap year, isn't it? Well, it's not a
Yeah,
leap year.
leap year.
That's why it's 7 days.
But
But yeah, we've got Chelsea
hopefully
at
by then we've
home.
got Havertz back as well.
Yeah, Havertz will be big. But Huss, we've got
Hopefully.
Chelsea at home, Brighton away 3 days later, Mansfield away in the FA Cup. A week after that, we've got Everton. I think that's Monday Night Football.
It's a good
15th
run,
of
you know.
March.
That's
And
a positive
then
run because
City in the
I was
cup
going to say you
final.
just play your full lineup, Chelsea and Brighton. You rest in Mansfield, and you've got a week off for Everton essentially.
Yeah, it's a good run. I think it's, but Nad, you know what? I'm a donut. We'll have Champions League. I'm pretty
Champions League.
sure the first leg of our round of 16 ties before the Carabao Cup final. I'm pretty sure.
Have they set the draw? They haven't done the draw, have they?
Nah, the playoffs are
We've got to
this
wait
week.
for the team before, right?
Yeah, the playoffs finish.
Yeah.
The playoffs finish.
When's that?
Week.
Is that this? Oh, that's midweek. This
this week.
Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay.
So we'll find out.
Inter or Dortmund, is it?
Ib's done it. I think it's Dortmund, Leverkusen, Olympiacos, or someone else. I think Inter might be. I don't know. Ib's done he done the thing, but Leverkusen, Olympiacos, Dortmund. Who did Dortmund play? It's lost. I've lost who they played.
Dortmund played Bodo Glimt, maybe? No,
it weren't Bodo.
Dortmund.
They played Atalanta.
Inter.
So Atlanta played Leverkusen. Dortmund play Olympiacos.
Yeah, Bodo beat Inter. We could have got Inter in the quarters, I think.
So we could get Bodo, surely.
Yeah, Bodo's tough, man. You don't even really want Bodo, I'll be honest.
No facts, yeah. Bodo.
So I think it's between Atlanta, Leverkusen, Dortmund, or Olympiacos. That will
yeah.
So
I wouldn't take any of them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I've just got.
You'd rather avoid Dortmund. I think you probably want to avoid Dortmund out of all of them, right?
Historically, yeah. But also like the bigger game, I guess. I don't know.
Well, you want the
winner.
You want the winner of Olympiacos Leverkusen. To be honest, I think it will be Leverkusen. I can just see it in Capier back at his former club. It's just one of them storylines. And then quarters, you could get. It's going to get messy, so we will worry about that when we come to it. But we've got a lot of big games coming. It's an important part of the season. But yeah, we won today. I don't know. Has anyone else got anything else to add? I've got nothing left to say.
I just want to ask a question.
What was that?
One question. What did you think of Saka's performance today?
Bakayo. Great game.
I thought he played well, to be fair, but
yeah,
I think he needs to get his finishing back on, man. Just get his shot off a bit quicker.
He's another one. He could have finished the game with he could have had a man of the match game easily. You know what I mean?
Eze's goal, Eze second, he could have scored if he was a bit sharp.
Yeah, he could have scored. He could have. For some reason, they've not given him the assist for the first goal. Do either you understand why?
Huss, mate, that ruined my bet. I had everything
I didn't understand that, bro.
Bro, I had everything come in. I had Declan Rice or Saka to get an assist. I'm thinking corner, we're going to score from one. On fantasy, they've given Saka the assist, but Opta, who are definitely doing some dodgy dealings with the bookies,
bro, they're so dodgy. They ruined my thing the other week.
But do you know what it is? The worst thing with that, Huss, is it means Saka actually doesn't get an official assist. So
yeah, mental.
Because the Premier League use Opta's official.
So was it because it deflected or something?
Like apparently there was a deflection, but the weird thing is, Mo, in their rules it says if the pass is clearly intended for their teammate, the deflection doesn't matter. So there's some dodginess going on there, Huss. Don't worry, you're not alone. I lost peas on that as well.
I love that like 4 assists this season. His stats would look so different if they count.
The Wolves' own goals, he didn't
Wolves,
get.
I'm sure there was another one where he scored a corner pretty much. Was that like
Yeah, there is.
True.
You're right. Yeah, it's tough.
But yeah, I thought, yeah, man, it's a good game. You know what? There's nothing left to say.
Save it for the next episode, Huss. We'll be back probably Thursday, Friday, looking ahead to Sunday's game. So make sure to like, subscribe, turn your notifications, then you will know when the video drops, or follow us on Spotify, where we promise this episode will be my bad on the last episode. But yeah, this will definitely be on Spotify. So give us a follow there, give us a rating. But until next time, Arsenal have done it 4-1, bragging rights secured for another season.
What was up?
Are you even going to be? Is there going to be a North London derby next season? Let's see.
Crazy.
Let's see.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But until next time, people, we'll see you then. Peace.